Hi, good morning, Bala. Good morning, and welcome to Bits and Banter.
Good
As we
morning,
all
Raj.
know, morning, we are going to discuss the traffic signal today. Oh, I didn't mean that. We are going to discuss the soft signal today,
Okay.
not the traffic signal.
Because
So,
you, in a sense, you're right. It's also a kind of a traffic signal because one doesn't know whether one is going or one is coming
yeah,
in.
and that is a typical Indian traffic signal only. Who's coming
Yes.
from where, you have no idea. So, anyway, coming to the nuts and bolts, I think India won the match by 8 runs. And I'm sure Shardul Thakur would have taken all the credit. CSK would have taken all the credit because he hit 2 fours.
Yes,
Right?
exactly.
So
And
that is a different margin of victory, man.
that is the margin of victory. And those 2 wickets of consecutive innings, that's where the match kind of changed.
Changed, yes. So I think after the game, I mean, the first things first. I think we need to sort of bring in Surya Kumar Yadav here. I mean, that was what I saw was. I have not seen anything like this before. I mean, to be honest, we have watched you and
That's
I
a
between
huge
us.
thing because
Yeah,
you have watched quite a bit of cricket, and
watch.
for you
Yeah,
to
yeah.
say that,
First ball, the guy just walks in, saunters in with a chewing gum in his mouth. It reminds me of a certain chewing gum chewing
yeah,
guys,
yes,
right? And
exactly,
hits a shot which is very, very Caribbean.
Caribbean, exactly,
Nataraja shot, like I mean, tongue, and the guy bowling from the other end also is Caribbean.
exactly.
So that connection was just too much to miss, man.
Exactly.
So,
That's a nerveless batting debut. Of course, he
yeah,
made his debut in the first match, but unfortunately, I mean, a couple of matches earlier, unfortunately, he couldn't get to bat. But these Mumbai Indian batsmen, I mean, general by Mumbai Indian cricketers, they don't have stage fright at all, man.
yeah,
They just
seriously.
they just walk in and they get into their parts pretty easily.
Yeah, I know.
I
And
mean,
which,
even for that matter, Rahul Chahar, I mean,
yeah,
he bowled pretty well. I mean, we are getting a slightly ahead, but I mean, I'm just talking about Mumbai Indians' general mental
correct,
makeup because that is not his first match. Yesterday was not his first match, but still, he is coming. It's kind of a re-entry into the Indian team, and he looked the part.
correct. And not to forget that the guy who eventually was captaining when India won was
Exactly.
Mumbai Indians.
Yes, exactly.
So, I mean, no offense meant, and that is not why we are wearing blue today. No
Okay.
connection. But yeah,
We are not bowling from the Ambani end.
Ambani and yeah, or the Adani end.
Yes.
But then
Anyway,
having said that,
you are right about Surya Kumar Yadav. See,
yeah,
because he is apparently the fifth batsman to get off his international career with a six in T20, and the four other guys who had done it before, they are not pretty well known, so they are not had a long stellar career. But let's hope that Surya Kumar Yadav bucks the trend.
yeah. So I mean, so yesterday, I think from a batting point of view, I think India did what I think the team think tank has been talking about to sort of keep scoring runs because Kohli tried, he missed out. I mean, that happens. You get stumped, that's fine. Although I still have a point with Rahul, poor chap, he's completely at sea. He still hit one good shot, and you saw the smile on his face told us everything after hitting that boundary.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
see he's a guy who needs to be nurtured. I don't think we need to sort of beat him into form. That is what is happening today. But then we'll wait for some time with that.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, not just about when you're talking about Rahul, not just his batting. See, even all through his, I mean, the fielding stint, whenever a wicket fell, he was the one who was last to arrive at the kind of the congregation when the
Yeah,
place. So he's kind of he feels left out. He feels. I mean, he's not in a very comfortable zone in terms of mental
mind space.
mind
Yeah,
space. Exactly.
yes, you're right.
So I mean, those things happen. This is
Yeah,
not
yeah, it
something
happens to the best of the players.
best of people, and nothing wrong on it. But he needs. I mean, this is where the best exactly come out better. I
Yes.
mean, it's a no. The sentence didn't sound right. The best don't come out better. I mean, that would be a step down actually. When
Yeah.
best come, good people they become better. That's
Yeah,
what
so
I
I
meant.
think I think that nurturing part, I think they need to be a little careful about how you nurture somebody. See, putting the guy in the same situation and helping and expecting him to turn around. See, yesterday also he had the lowest strike rate. I mean, take Virat Kohli out, poor chap, he got out very quickly, 7 balls, 1 run or whatever. But he wasn't looking the part. So for me, that is the challenge. See, when you are not looking the part to say, you need to play the part. So the chances are that you are under extra pressure. So maybe a change in position, maybe something, or maybe just sort of sitting him out and say, you know what, we have other series coming. So, or see, no, the guy has, yesterday I was arguing with somebody online. I was telling them, look, this guy has not played cricket at all for quite some time. He has been
Yeah,
sitting around doing nothing. So you don't really
exactly.
blame the guy.
Raj, I'll just push the envelope further and take back to you the discussion that we had the previous occasion. You said the team management is under no compulsion to mollycoddle a individual player. They have to
Correct.
play for the
Yeah,
situation. I
yeah.
mean, so should the Indian team go the extra mile to kind of accommodate Rahul, or just I mean, right now you're
I'll
not
give
in
you an
the
example. I'll
yeah.
give you an example, Bala. See, what I mean by mollycoddle is, see, you are professional players. You are professional. That is what you do, right? I mean, in your profession, my profession, we can't write for somebody else, right?
Yes, you're
We
right.
can't do that. I mean, that person has to write. If the person can't write, and I mean, sorry, man. I mean, don't think maybe this is not the profession you want to be in. So here, I'm not going that far. These guys are proven professionals. I'll give you another example of what happened yesterday, which I found a little woozy. You had Chahar taking a wicket. You had a new batsman coming in. And because Washington went for 17 runs in his first over, Washington was back just to average it out. They took 6 runs in that over, but that 6 runs was actually in favor of England. It was not India's merit. We are not here to improve Washington Sundar's bowling analysis, right? We are
No,
here for the
right.
tactical news.
Right, but you can also read it as a kind of because Washington Sundar, by the evidence of the first over, was not going to have a great night. So
Correct.
you because you are anyway going to have because you just have 5 bowlers, you have to somehow fit him. So you kind of bring him when it is kind of possible to play out those overs. So in terms of tactical idea, it's not a bad one, I would say, Raj.
No, they didn't have a choice. They sort of
Yeah,
painted them
exactly.
to the corner. That's what I'm also saying. See, Washington Sundar, for me, the problem is he's a guy who bowls the first over.
Power play.
Power play overs. So to give him another something else and then expect him then try to sort of fit in things, I think that is where the signals get confusing.
Confusing. But
And
yesterday,
he
I
himself
mean,
gets confused. I mean, first
but
time
yesterday,
the data
yeah,
was
that
first
view
time.
was
Yeah,
heavy.
it was
I mean,
there.
and he
So
had a shocker
again,
of a day in terms of bowling. Those things do happen.
yeah, again, see, when the dew is there, the more the ball goes around the park, it is going to be worse, right? So it would have been ideal to sort of see whether you could actually get the guy up front. I mean, I'm not saying it would have the decision would have changed, or I mean, he could have been taken to the cleaners by Josh Butler. All of that could have happened. See, hindsight is always 2020. So my point is that just to try to get that, see, there is a tactical scenario there also. If you get one more wicket, or if you have a chance of getting one more wicket with a bowler who has just got somebody out, I would rather go with that than go with trying
Fair
to.
enough.
I mean, that's a slightly this thing. I mean, it's always debatable, but that's the way I saw it.
Apart from Surya Kumar Yadav,
Shreyas
Shreyas
Iyer, yeah.
sorry, sir. Surya Kumar Yadav and Shreyas Iyer. Shreyas played a terrific hand. I mean,
Yeah.
30 odd in those. I mean, slightly late in the innings. That was pretty crucial, and he looked in great touch. Great touch.
Yeah. Yeah, so see, the team actually telling batsmen that look, you need to sort of go bat anywhere according to the situation is fine. The only thing that I have in a situation like this is that, see, in Mumbai Indians, if you look at Mumbai Indians, we talked about Mumbai Indians. The Mumbai Indians, I think each player knows their role. The reason why they have won 5 times is the players know their role. What am I supposed to do? What is the expectation? So like Surya mentioned after in the post-match, he said that Kohli asked me to just go and bat like I do in Mumbai Indians. That was a very clear message, right? Now, the scenario is that even in an Indian team, somewhere I think that needs to be there, even if it is a T20
The roles
match.
have to be pretty much clear, defined, but this, I mean, we are slightly in a better era because the previous era, you wouldn't know what the batsman or the bowler have to do. But these days, you kind of understand slightly better. But you're right. They need to know where they stand.
Yeah. So it's like Hardik Pandya. See, Hardik Pandya coming into bat at number 7 when the fast bowlers are bowling is not a great idea. I mean, we have done that twice and it's not come out well. So ideally,
but yesterday he had a terrific night as a bowler.
Bowler, yeah. So I was coming to that only. See, he bowled very well, but as a batsman, I think he has still not stamped his authority on this series till now. So see, we have tried him. Hardik Pandya has batted number 6 and scored a century in Test matches, right? We know he can bat. I mean, he's a batsman who bowls, and he's an actual class all-rounder today. I mean, the genuine all-rounder in India for, I mean, after maybe Irfan Pathan was confused to death. So
you're right. That's a. I mean, that's the right usage. Confused to death.
Yeah. So somewhere, I think he. I mean, he's a team player. He does what the team wants, but then he also has his advantages. It's like, I mean, think of Kieron Pollard. Kieron Pollard batting against somebody bowling 150 plus might not be the same Kieron Pollard when he is batting against somebody 130 plus. And the players
Exactly.
have their advantages and disadvantages. We need to figure that out. So I think that is where a bit of a see. You could argue that he could have come at number 4, number 5. I don't know. I mean, I'm just giving these random thoughts because I'm still confused, because that Confucius thing which we mentioned last time, it still stays, because somewhere the tactics didn't make a lot of sense. We won. That's fine.
Because
maybe
we won batting first. We
Yeah.
won when bowling under the dew. So
Yeah. So all fine, all well.
we have bucked the trend. And a couple of words about England, what they
Yeah.
did right or what they didn't, according to you.
So England also, see, England yesterday, I don't know. I mean, if I were, again, England might be testing these things, these scenarios out. I mean, if I were England, I was Eoin Morgan, I would definitely bat number 4 here, come what may. Like Virat Kohli normally bats number 3. I would bat number 4. I mean, Eoin Morgan and number 4 is, I think, the best number 4 in the world today.
Exactly.
So I don't think, I mean, they also were, see, everybody seems to be experimenting. So what do we say? So we just look at the experience and say, ouch, and then go forward, man.
I mean, they have a problem with David Malan's form currently. He's a good batsman. David Malan has proved himself previously. But as you were saying the other night, David Malan can make for Sam Billings.
Yeah. And then we will have to, I mean, the two
because
teams
Sam Billings at least knows the Indian conditions.
Conditions, yeah.
Yeah.
So there they have the same problem, just like we are having with Rahul. They want David Malan to succeed, I think, because he's the top T20 batsman. But it's fine.
It's a fair call from their point perspective.
Yeah. But then I love the way, see, look at it this way. Now you have actually given a template to the other teams for the T20 World Cup. 2 genuinely quick bowlers up front.
Yes.
So I think that is what has made a difference. And that works in Indian conditions also. So England has probably given other teams mantra for the upcoming T20 World Cup. That's all I'll say, right?
But the dew factor will be much more pronounced
later
around October. So you have to factor in, because yesterday it was a big factor.
Correct. So which basically tells on the spinners more than the fast bowlers, right? So you had Bhuvneshwar Kumar coming and bowling a pretty good final over actually, and
the final over was
final over, his final over.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Hardik Pandya bowled his final over brilliantly, right?
His 4-over spell was pretty crucial.
And but for that last 4 and a 6 of CSK, Shardul Thakur, he also had a pretty good day. I mean, just take away the 10 runs. I mean, his bowling figures look much better. I mean, in a 180 plus chase, it looks much better. So I think fast bowlers, so that entire thing about spinners might change, right? I mean, that could be a scenario from what you said, Bala.
Yeah,
that, with the dew coming in, that thing might change, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And now I think,
we have to talk about the third
traffic signal. Traffic signal. So what's your thought on that? I want to listen to you actually.
Yeah, Raj, I thought, I mean, see, we can certainly criticize the third umpire, but he went by what was in front of him. And for me also, the evidence on TV replays was slightly inconclusive. So he had to go by what the soft signal was. See, and the umpire in the middle, he had to give a soft signal. Right or wrong, he had to give that's what the rules are about.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that only.
Exactly. So he just went by what the player claimed. And that is where the problem really stemmed from for me. Because David Malan claiming as emphatically as he did after that kind of gives you generally, umpires also tend to believe what the players claim. I mean, on the face of it.
You remember that in that series when India and Australia decided that they will take the players' signal, and then you had Michael Clark and Ricky Ponting cheating. So I'm using that word because they were not
need not be under quotes, man. It was proper cheating.
Yeah. So the same case happens here. So which is where the problem is. I have a problem with the rule, not its implementation. See, you don't blame the umpire because the umpire is implementing what is given to him.
Exactly.
Right? Yes. So the point here is that the rule itself is a bit weird because this guy is standing at one corner of the ground and the action takes place at the other corner where 18 cameras are not able to figure it out. How the hell are you supposed to give a soft signal here?
An old man like Ananta Padmanabhan. How can you?
Even a young man like Nitin Menon, which brings me, when was the last time you had 2 Mallus on umpiring an international test match? International match.
Shamsuddin is also originally from Kerala, man.
Yeah, I know, but then when was the last time? I can't remember. Anyway,
We never
But
had two
then it's-
Mallus in the same cricketing park for long time,
I know.
either as umpires or as players.
All players. We hardly have one Mallu in these days around. Anyway,
Yeah.
but then I think your point is right. See, the rule is such where you need to sort of look at the rules per se, because the soft signal, see, how do you expect a person standing at least, I don't know how many yards, 60 yards from the action to give a soft signal? Because when he can't see, he's going by the player's reaction.
That's where the ICC needs to step in and say, the umpires, when they can't see it from afar, they did not give a soft signal.
Exactly. I think the crux of the matter is that they don't need to give a soft signal. Yeah, I was watching another show just before this. Like Ajay Jadeja came up with a nice soft signal. So today what happens, you say this and you say or, right? That is the soft signal. So the ICC should change the rules so that the soft signals.
Yes.
Or
this, even this.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be very clear. I mean, I understand the soft signal is there for a particular reason. See, when the evidence in front of both the umpires, on-field umpires as well as the third umpire, are not conclusive, you might as well go with what the on-field umpires say, which is perfectly reasonable. As a general rule, it is fine. But even when the on-field umpire is unable to see what is happening, see, there is no need for him to give a soft signal.
Correct.
That kind of a thing.
See, imagine that by some quirk, the catch was taken with his back towards the umpire. Now, where is the soft signal then? He's seeing his butt. How can he signal soft? That soft signal means something else, man. Then.
Raj, don't get naughty on a Friday morning. Raj.
It's a family show. I remember. Yeah. So see, Harsha Bhogle had tweeted yesterday something where he said that the soft signal, basically what happens is the umpire is seeing action in 3D. Whereas the TV camera is seeing it in 2D. So obviously the 3D and 2D scenario would be different. So you need to take that into account. But having said that, I still believe that this idea is a bit bizarre. I mean, there have been bizarre rules in the past. I think, this one also will find its way out.
Raj, which is understandable because we also arrive at some kind of a conclusion after stumbling along. I mean, you don't arrive at so these things do happen. But yesterday was certainly a concern because if India had lost, all hell would have broken loose.
Correct. I mean, Virat Kohli sitting outside, you could see this, him articulating it beautifully in his favorite language.
Exactly. He was calling Ben Stokes.
Yeah. So, I mean, see, that is where the challenge is. I think, and then there was also another instance, if you remember, Bala, there was this instance where I think somebody was stumped. I can't remember who it was. From one side, I think in Malan only, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly.
From one side angle, it looks like his foot was in the air.
Precisely.
From the other side, it looked proper, right? That is why you have this third umpiring from such a close quarters. It's difficult for you to judge.
Precisely, and that's why I say evidence that was available on TV was inconclusive because this TV can misrepresent or can mislead.
Yeah.
The TV evidence. So let's not get carried away because it looked grass.
Yes.
At one level, it looked grass, but at another level, we can also understand it was not also. Clinching. The evidence was not clinching.
See, the problem here is that you need to go with circumstantial evidence as to what is most likely. The only thing that was likely was that the hands were splayed, so the chances are they were not, unless he had very long fingers. It's like that it goes. So it's difficult. Normal fingers, it's splayed like this. That is where the ball was probably between his two palms, and that hit the ground. And the problem is that the player, I mean, you know it, I know it. We have done, whatever little we have used. We have handled a cricket ball. You don't know in some cases. You really don't know whether it hit the ground or not.
Because the other day during the test match, Ajinkya Rahane took one very clearly, but he was not very sure.
Correct.
He said it was not clear, but it turned out to be it was a clean catch.
Clean catch, yeah.
But Raj, let's get it. When you have the third umpire's decision being played out on the big screen and the guys who are sponsoring it or the Agarbatti guys, that is bound to incense people.
Yeah, I know. I think on that note, I think we should wind up.
Exactly.
We covered an entire spectrum from traffic signal to incense. So I think with that note, we'll come back. So next most probably we'll do a review of the 5-match series instead of the final, which is happening in 2 days' time. We'll review the entire 5-match series. So bear with us if it goes on and on, rambling as we always do. So nice. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Bala. Thanks for.
My pleasure, Raj.
Yeah. And we'll catch up soon and take care. Have a safe day. Bye-bye.
Bye.